Hey, what's up, art geeks? How's everybody doing? Are you creating some good art out there? I hope so. I am back in my studio, hanging out on my couch. Thought I'd do another unedited video where I'm not going to be editing this at all. We're just going to see what happens. I do have something to talk about. Don't worry, I do have something on my mind a little bit. Seemed like a perfect time to talk about YouTube. Since this is a YouTube video, I thought, why not? Let's make this about YouTube. I've been doing it for about a year now, and I have some thoughts. Have a few thoughts from doing it for a little bit. And while we're talking about this, I am showing you a painting I did last Saturday and Sunday, last weekend, at home, not in my studio, at home. I have a little tabletop easel thing that I use when I'm painting from home. And I did this quick little sketch on paper. The first layer is all greens, as you're seeing now. It's some variation of greens, very earthy colors. And then the second part ends up being a little bit more on the yellow side, a little bit more on the warm sort of browns, almost orange, but not quite. A lot of earthy colors, very, very earthy. You'll have to wait till the end to see if you like it or not. I'm not sure it's my favorite color palette in the world, but I wanted to try something different. And this is what I ended up with. That's why I did it on paper, because I could just throw it away if I don't like it. The reference image is from Pinterest. I know I'm a little lazy when I'm at home. I don't use my usual models. I have a good few models that I use. I have thousands of photos that I use when I paint my portraits. But when I'm at home and I'm just kind of messing around, I just jump onto Pinterest to find something that's halfway decent. And this is what I picked. I thought it was a good photo, though. I don't know how to give credit to the person, because in Pinterest, it's impossible to really figure out where the origin of the photo is. I've tried. So if anybody knows who this is, let me know. I'd be happy to give them some credit. But you're just going to watch me create this portrait based on the image. It's not an exact replica of the image by any means. I'm just kind of playing with color. I picked the colors pretty much on a whim. I didn't even really think about it too hard. I just said, I want some greens. So that's what I went with. And I thought it turned out okay. It's pretty good. But anyway, I wanted to today, talk about YouTube and how it's been going. And by the way, I did just drop a brand new tutorial or an exercise. It's actually an exercise over on my Patreon account. So check that out. It's a really great exercise. I think for those of you out there that are just getting started with doing portraits, if you're not very comfortable with freehand drawing or freehand painting, anything freehand where you're not tracing or using grids or guides or whatever other contraptions are out there to help you along, this tutorial is really going to help. I think it was really meant to increase your ability to accurately paint freehand fairly quickly. That's kind of the whole idea behind this exercise. And I think it's gonna really help some people out there. It's pretty cool. There's a really good preview. We can just go over to Patreon, check out the preview. It'll show you like 40 seconds at the beginning. It'll really give you a good idea where it goes. So I think it'll help a lot of people, especially people that are getting started. For people like me, it helps also where I'm just trying to sharpen up, especially if I've gone a couple days and I haven't painted. It's always nice to just do a quick sketch just to help sharpen up your tool set a little bit. So check that out. Now, I'd like to quickly, or not quickly, but over the course of the next 10 minutes or so, talk about YouTube, because I've been doing YouTube now for about a year. I think it's been, about a year. I started back in July, I think, last year. And it's been going pretty good. I learned a long time ago you're supposed to post consistently. So the first thing I did was I picked a day. I picked Wednesday at 1 p.m. Central Time. I'm from Iowa, in case you didn't know. That's why I picked Central Time, or why I'm talking in Central Time instead of Eastern Time or whatever. But 1 p.m. Central Time, that's when I post. And I haven't skipped 1 week. Every Wednesday, I have successfully posted something. I don't know how much YouTube has rewarded me for the consistency, but I have to imagine it's not hurting any. And that's one of the first things I learned, is be consistent. Now, I actually wrote down, I have a couple notes here. I wrote down notes just so I actually have something to talk about. What did I write down here? When was okay, here it is. April 30th was when I finally got monetized. So if I started in July and it took till April, I did it, see, April, May, June, July, 4 months in between there. So it took me about 7, 8 months, end of April. So yeah, about 8 months to be monetized. And since April 30th, you're not going to believe how much money I've made. It is incredible amounts of money. Oh my gosh, I made $54.56 since April 30th. I am just rolling in money. I mean, I could buy one solid meal at a decent restaurant for that amount of money. But that's not really the point of being monetized. I I thought that'd be nice to throw in there just to mention how much I made because that's kind of realistic. I know if I wasn't in the art business, if I was in, say, in the finance business or something, I know those finance people, like people that talk stocks and talk anything financial, or even people I think that talk about like growing a business just make tons of money. At least they're, what is it? They call that how much per thousand views is it just jumps a ton when you're in those sectors. But I'm an artist. What can I do? I'm not going to be a finance guy just because you make more money that way. I got to be an artist. I'm sure there's others out there that know what I'm talking about. It's like you have this calling to be an artist and you're kind of stuck. You're stuck doing that because that's what you like doing. You're not going to just change careers because it might make more money. Anyway, that's a little side thought there. But yeah, anyway, I monetized back on the 30th, and some of the things you have to do, just a quick rundown, you have to get 1,000 subscribers. I think it's 4,000 hours of watch time. You have to do that within the year. And I had a couple of videos that did pretty well towards the end, and it kind of helped to get me to accelerate the process of becoming monetized. So that wasn't too bad. I would say for any artist, I got a couple recommendations for you if you want to get monetized or at least grow a little bit. Oh yeah, by the way, I have 4.2 thousand subscribers as of this video. It's not a lot. I know some people that have done it for way less time than me in the same area, the art area on YouTube, have done better faster than me, but 4.2 thousand it seems respectable. I don't know. I guess I haven't I try not to compare myself too much to other people or I'll lose my mind. I have done that in the past where I just compare myself to everybody that's really successful. And that's just the wrong road. Don't do that. So it's going good. I'd say I'm just kind of on par with what other people are doing. I wouldn't say I'm not rolling in the money, that's for sure. I do make sure to mention Patreon every video. That's another thing. You want to make sure that you're not just relying on YouTube to make money from ads. It's never going to work. Make sure that you're either mentioning that your artwork's available for sale. Make sure you're mentioning your Patreon if you're doing tutorials. Make sure you have something else you're mentioning in every single video from the very beginning. I maybe skipped that in the first couple because I had nothing to mention because I can't remember if I started Patreon. I think I started Patreon a little bit after I started YouTube, but I only had maybe a couple videos on there to start as far as tutorials and demonstrations and things. But right now I think I'm up to 40 tutorials on Patreon, so that's going pretty good. Patreon, I guess a little side note, Patreon, I have like 250 patrons. Only 60 of them are actual subscribers as of right now. But again, I've been doing that for less than a year, or about the same amount, about a year. So I think that's going okay. I can't complain about having 60 patrons. I want it to be more. I'd love it to be a few hundred. I'd be happy with a few hundred if it just got to like 400 for just a consistent basis of 400 for a $10 subscription. I can make a living doing that. That would be nice. But you gotta do this one step at a time. You gotta be patient. You gotta be patient with these things. So as far as YouTube goes, I would say from the editing side of things, I use DaVinci Resolve. That's my editor of choice for my desktop. I'm a PC guy. I use that. It's also on iPad, I think, and Macs. I know it's on iPad for sure. I can't recall if it's on regular Macs or not, but it is on iPads. It's meant for PC. DaVinci Resolve is great, though. A lot of people are switching from A lot of people are switching from the Adobe Premiere and going over to DaVinci because one, it's a one-time fee to purchase it. I think it's $300, and you can get a free version. The free version does great. I don't think you can't output to 4K. That's the only downside. It is worth the $300 if you want to use it for YouTube. Because you want to output everything to 4K for YouTube. I don't know, again, maybe there's something in the algorithm on YouTube that says you should have 4K or we're not going to show your video to as many people. But I would say just purchase it one time and you get all these updates. I'm guessing down the road, they'll probably change that. They'll probably make you have to upgrade at some point and pay for it, but who knows? We'll see. Only time will tell on that. Nobody knows the future. So yeah, that's pretty much my rundown on YouTube. I'm trying to think, what else did I have here? Monetization, I mentioned that. Oh, one of the cool things that happened last week was, and I think it's because I was doing it like this. So yeah, let's talk about my evolution of YouTube. So when I first started, I had these big ideas. I'm going to create these really snappy, just fully edited videos where there's just all kinds of camera angles, and it's just going to be so, I was kind of pushing for the top end editing wise. And I did hire an editor. She helps me out quite a bit. Hey, Jen. She hasn't been able to help me in the last couple months because I got a little slowed down with other things, but she'll be helping me out again soon. Don't worry, Jen. I'll get you. You'll be back in my studio soon. But she's my editor, and she's helped me out. She comes in like once a month to just grab a few videos, and then she just takes them home and edits them in a really simple form. But in my head, when I first started these videos, I thought, oh, I'm just gonna make them really fancy. I was looking at certain artists that were just going way beyond as far as how they could be edited. It just wasn't realistic. I mean, I have 4.2K followers. It's not worth spending that kind of money or paying an editor for that kind of work, because it is work. I swear, every time you make one little edit just to zoom in or zoom out or change camera angles, all that costs money. It costs time. Like this video, this is the easiest way I would say I've been evolving to what I'm doing right now today, doing unedited where I'm just talking. I'm not doing anything fancy with the editing. It's just the video in the main screen to this side is just sped up to like 800% or something like that. Very quick to do. I sometimes will throw in a couple zoom in and outs, but I don't think you guys care. Do you guys care if I zoom in and out? Let me know. Look at some of my previous videos, because I go back to like November or something, and I was like putting music in the background. I was just trying to edit every little screw up in my dialogue. So much work. I mean, this is fun. This is actually, I'm enjoying what I'm doing now, just sitting on my couch and talking and letting you guys all just enjoy watching me paint while I talk. I mean, why not, right? The last video I did just like this, where I didn't edit anything out of it, had some of the best numbers. I think it was like 2.4K views, which for me is good. I think I've had only maybe 3 or 4 that have gone higher than that. So to just know that I can sit on my couch, talk to you this way, and just throw a speed painting essentially in the middle of the screen, I'm gonna keep doing it this way until I'll put some bells and whistles. Trust me, I'm gonna put some bells and whistles in my videos at some point. But I need to have the follower count, I need to have or subscriber count to do it. I'm not gonna just waste money when this works pretty well. And I think people like it. I'd like to know what you think. Do you like these unedited versions? I'd love to hear your thoughts on that. I know my shirt's not as wrinkly as last week. Got a couple wrinkles in it, but nothing like last week, right? Check out last week's tutorial or last week's video. And I am just, oh my gosh, the shirt I was wearing. I'm looking good today. This is an old bicycle shirt. I don't bike that much anymore, but I'm wearing a bicycle shirt today from doing this urban assault bike ride around Des Moines, Iowa. That was kind of fun. That was years ago, though. It was a good time. So I like doing it this way, though. This is the way I think I'm going to do it from now on. Just put the camera in front of my couch, talk, maybe walk around the studio. I don't think I'll walk around the studio today. I don't know, from last week to this week, I don't think it's worthy. I'll wait until I have something really cool to show you, and I'll walk you around the studio. But I think this approach is going to work. Keep it simple. I'd say a good rule of thumb for YouTube videos, keep it simple. get it to a place where like this is going to take me total from beginning to end editing, not including the actual painting process of actually painting over the weekend. That was like a 2-hour painting. This painting you're watching right now is like 2.5 hours, I think. And then the editing, I'm doing this in about one take. I think I did restart this once because I was figuring out something on my camera, so I had to restart. But from beginning to end, I spent about 4 hours max on this. I'm not putting chapters in my videos. Those don't matter to the algorithm as far as I can tell. Don't worry about chapters. Just skip the chapters in your videos. But put a little description in there. Just make sure it's done to a decent quality. Make sure you're using good camera equipment. Like this camera, I'm using a ZV-E10. Mark Bennett, he's my guy. I tell you what, check out Mark Bennett's videos. If you want to learn something about cameras, especially Sony's, go over to Mark Bennett's YouTube channel. He will teach you some things about cameras. That's why I picked the ZV-E10. I think the ZV-E10 Mark II is coming out here very shortly. I got two of them. I got two of those cameras. One for the palette. Like a lot of the time I'll have a palette view and a painting view, and I will show them both in the same video. Check out my previous videos. I use it for Patreon as well. The video you're seeing in the screen to this side, the main screen though, is actually just from my phone. I didn't have my camera equipment at home. I just have a little simple setup at home. I just use my camera phone, and it's a nice camera phone. It's my Galaxy S23 Ultra. It has a pretty good camera sensor in it, so it's not too bad. Did a good job. The ZV-10 does way better, but I'm happy with what I got so far. And that's another thing. You just keep evolving. Get one camera. Just get a ZV-10. They're like $800. Get a decent lens. Like the lens I'm using on here is the let me look at the brand. I forget the brand. Oh, Sigma. Gosh. Sigma brand. Great lenses on the Sigmas. So get a Sigma lens. You can get the kit lens. The kit lens for the Sony, the $100 one, definitely get that. There's no reason not to get that lens with your camera, then just upgrade. But I don't know. How much time we got here? 17 minutes. Oh my gosh, I better stop. That's plenty. It's going to be my longest video I've ever created. So I would say I didn't even go, I think I went through most of this stuff. Let's see. When I started, why I started. Oh, I think we covered most of this. Game plan. Yeah. Hey, my notes worked. Cool. I don't know what I'm doing. I mean, I'm just hand writing these down. I don't even know. I'm just messing around. That's what makes this fun though. That's the last note. That's the last tip I'm going to give you. If you're going to start a YouTube channel, do something that you enjoy doing with it. I was really disliking. It seemed like every few months of doing the videos a certain way, I just felt like, God, I'm hating this. So I change it up a little bit. And I find that I was hating that way of doing it. So I changed it up. And now we're to this point. I've actually evolved to where I'm just sitting on my couch, not editing, and I'm enjoying this so much better. I don't have to spend 1 second editing this, minus adjusting the volume a little bit. But this is great. I'm loving this. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you think of my non-wrinkly shirt. Do I need to wrinkle them more like my last video? I know everybody was liking my wrinkled videos or my wrinkled shirt video. So I had some good comments, by the way. Great comments last week. I really appreciate that. I might have had the most comments ever in a video, especially for that amount of views, like 2.4K views. And I had like 12, 13, 14 comments, something like that. I'm not sure, something around there. The total comments in there's like 24, but I know some of those are mine just responding back. But I think there's something to this. I think there's something to just being honest, just honestly talking to the camera, not editing. I think editing is getting over the top with so many YouTubers. When they're talking, you just see how much they've cut. Every like 5 seconds, there's a cut, because there's a lot of restarts and things that they're doing. I don't want to do that. I just want to talk like this. Hopefully you can get through this video. This is the longest one. Where are we at? We are at, oh my gosh, almost 20 minutes. Okay, time to wrap up. Well, thank you all. I hope you enjoyed this video. The colors are weird. I know. These aren't my favorite colors, but let me know what you think of the colors in this video. Let me know what you think of just me sitting on this couch like usual. I'm going to do this again next week. As long as you guys don't start harassing me and telling me to do something different, I'm going to keep doing it this way, where I just sit on the couch and relax and talk about whatever my thought is of the week. So That's it. All right. Well, thank you. Thank you so much, everybody. Let me know in the comments what you think of anything I talked about today. We went over basically YouTube. If you have any questions, send me some questions. If you just have general comments, if you want to, I'd love to hear positive comments. Feel free to give me some negative comments too. Those are the ones I ignore though. I'll still read them, but if you give me a bad comment, you might hurt my feelings. Don't do that. We don't want to hurt my feelings too much. I got thick skin. I got thick skin when it comes to these YouTube commenters. There's a lot of all these people hiding behind their username on YouTube could say just about anything to me and it wouldn't bother me, I think. But try to keep it nice, even if you're one of those trolls. I've had a couple trolls over the last year of doing this, and I usually get more amusement out of it than anything. So amuse me with some trollage if you want. Trollage, there's a new word for you. All right, I better stop there while I'm ahead. Next week, I'm going to be doing a review of some stuff I got from my first review from my last video. I think they saw my last video and they asked me to review some stuff. So I got some stuff here from Artix, Artx. I should have asked them. I should talk to them on the phone, see how you actually say it. Artix, 2 R's. They're oil pastels. We'll see what we can do with these. I have not used anything like this. I am a paint guy, but I'm going to review these. I'm going to give you an honest review of these next week. Okay. That's it. I will subscribe, like, blah, 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 do all that stuff, comment. Thank you so much. I will talk to you again next week. Bye.